What is going on, everybody? It's Dylan from Redline here, back with another video. If you're new here, we are currently in the process of turning $500 into an exotic car via flipping cars, buying, reselling, trading, etc. Welcome to the journey. As you can see behind me, we got the eyes on the prize. That's ultimately my dream exotic car is an Audi R8. I'm an Audi enthusiast. If you guys know me already on the channel, you know that's my thing, Audis. I'm also a Mustang enthusiast and really any and everything, but that right there is my dream car, and it's time to make this dream a reality. Now, if you are new here to the channel, I have 6 previous videos entailing what all we've already bought, sold, resold, currently have. And let me just say, we are making some really good progress in this challenge. I have my trusty notes to help me keep track of all the cars here in the challenge, so I'll give you guys a quick rundown. We started off with $500, bought a Mark IV Jetta, sold that, ended up picking up an Audi S4, sold that, ended up picking a Turbo Miata with a hardtop, sold that, picked up a lifted Miata, sold that, flipped that into a red Miata that was very, very nice, and a cammed Fox body Mustang, sold both of those, picked up another red Miata with a hardtop, sold that car, picked up another Fox body. It was a 4i notchback. Sold that. Actually, I took another car in trade for that, which was a Subaru Outback. Sold that Subaru, picked up a Cruze, another red Miata that really needed some paint. Got that car, brought it back to life. Also picked up a Turbo Miata on Haltech. Sold all those. Then moved on to a Turbo New Edge Mustang, pretty cool car, and a supercharged Coyote. Now, I hate to say it, but you're kind of seeing a theme here of the cars I like to buy and sell. If you know me personally, what my personal cars are, I got a Mustang, I got a Miata. I'm an enthusiast of anything. I like anything that's cool. If it's fast, if it's slammed, I like literally any and everything. So honestly, if that sounds like something that might float your boat, feel free to subscribe. I also post videos other than this challenge featuring my personal cars, whether it be racing, reviews, parts modifications, literally any and everything car related. Sorry for the shameless plug, but, you know, got to grow them subs. Thank you guys so much for 3,500. Freaking blows my mind. This channel just keeps growing and growing, and I'm staying consistent with it. So I'm really glad to see that people are watching the videos and seeing the growth. Before I picked up this Miata, we were working with $26,850 in the challenge, all of a $500. Goes to show that anything's possible, and the deals are still out there, even in a crappy economy. Deals are always out there to be had. Now, unfortunately, some of my clips got kind of messed up, and that's why I'm refilming my intro here. And I'm going to do some talking over some of my clips because some of the audio got messed up when I was recording this. Not really sure what the heck happened, but here we are, and I want to get this video out to you guys. So without further ado, here's that Miata. All right, y'all. Here is the next car in the flip series. It is a 1990 Mazda Miata with 50,000 original miles. It's a one-owner car, and it is 110% rust-free. Now, obviously, the paint is not the best on this thing, and we're going to bring it back to life here. Get this situated, get this situated, get this, the hood, this fender, and that's about the extent of the paint problems. We're going to get this thing situated, get the hardtop all fixed up with the weather stripping there and right here, and bring this car back to life. Now, like I did just say, I got this car off the original owner. It only has 50,000 miles. It has a nice soft top. With these cars, I typically sell the hardtop separately. So I should be able to get anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 for the hardtop. And then depending on how the car actually comes out, once all the paint is situated, I will get a better idea on what I'm gonna list it for. But here are the first looks at the Miata before it has essentially a full come up and looks pretty again. Now, obviously, with 50,000 original miles, the car didn't get driven all too much. However, the owners were actually enthusiasts themselves. They were older people, and they did take the car out every year, drive it, do fluid changes, and keep up on all the maintenance. Timing belt's already been done, water pump, all that jazz. So in terms of mechanicals, not much to worry about. Tires are like new. It's got a fresh oil change. Brakes are good. Just needs to bring the cosmetics back to life a little bit. Now, unfortunately, my clip where I let you guys know what I actually paid for the car got corrupted, so here we are. I paid a whopping $4,600 for a 50,000 mile turnkey, well, for the most part, Mazda Miata with a hardtop. So in our current prices, that's kind of unheard of, especially for a one-owner car that's rust-free. Now, obviously, the paint was hideous on the car, and as you're going to see here in the video, we kind of brought it back to life. Now, the 90s Mazda paint, it sucks. Plain and simple, it sucks. If you look it up on forums and everything, it's problems with 90s Mazda paint. It's just awful. But we did bring it back to life. I paid initially $4,600 for the car, and, well, here's the restoration of the paint. Started doing the fender. Got to smooth it out, the paint, pillar, the hood, and the other side. All right, y'all. I got most of this sanded down flush with the paint. Came out pretty good. Everything smoothed out pretty nicely. We got this little corner back here. Obviously, I have the hard top off. Just chilling back there. Fixed the seal on that side. The only thing I still really have left to do is this right here and over there. But she is coming out minty. Now here's where some of my files got corrupted. So what I went ahead and did is sanded everything down to be flush with the paint that was still good. Now what usually goes wrong with the paint on these cars is the actual paint itself will flake off and the primer is still there underneath. So I went ahead and smoothed it out with the paint that was still existing to the best of my ability. And we threw about 3 or 4 coats of paint on, and it came out very, very good for what we were trying to do. Now the paint for the car, the prep stuff, the supplies, all that jazz, ran me about $60. I also had to throw plugs and some wires in the car. I failed to mention that in there. That was really the only thing mechanically that it needed, because it had, the plug wires were starting to arc in spots. So I was like, well, I better just throw some in to be safe. And obviously while I'm doing that, I'll throw plugs in. All in all, I threw about an extra $100 into the car. So I had about $4,700 combined invested into the Miata. Got the Miata all cleaned up, ready to roll. Heading to go get pictures now, get this thing posted up, and get it sold. This car cleaned up absolutely beautifully. I mean, it's only got 50,000 miles, so kind of come to expect that. But overall, awesome car. Now the paint for the car, the prep stuff, the supplies, all that jazz, ran me about $60. I also had to throw plugs and some wires in the car. I failed to mention that in there. That was really the only thing mechanically that it needed, because it had, the plug wires were starting to arc in spots. So I was like, well, I better just throw some in to be safe. And obviously while I'm doing that, I'll throw plugs in. All in all, I threw about an extra $100 into the car. So I had about $4,700 combined invested into the Miata. Now, as you guys can see here in this part of the video, I was absolutely ecstatic with how the car came out. This was my little walk around for the listing, followed by a few pictures that I threw up on the ad. Overall, I was pretty pleased for such a cheap fix for the car, if I may say so myself. Obviously, I'm not a professional by any means, but the car definitely went from like a 3 out of 10 in terms of cosmetics up to probably a 7 out of 10. And it just, a huge glow up. Huge glow up. A lot better than what it looked like when I first got it. So not even a full 24 hours after I listed the car, we walked away with some profit. I sold the car for $6,500 out the door, which came out to about $6,100 before tax, title, all that. So initial investment of $4,600 plus $100. I ended up selling the car alone for $6,100, and I sold the hardtop separately for another $1,500. So following this awesome flip, we are now up to $29,750 for the challenge, which is mind-blowing that we were even able to do that off of $500. I'm just doing this as a little side hustle thing, and man, it's really popping off pretty good. We'll just have to see where this ends up. Now, on that note, guys, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Once again, thank you so much for 3,500 subscribers, man. It means the world to me. If you're in anything automotive car related, feel free to subscribe. Like I hinted at earlier, I got a turbo Fox body, got a turbo New Edge that I just made a video on hitting a track. I got a B8 S4 that's manual, souped up Duramax, a little bit of any and everything. So if any of that sounds like something that might float your boat, feel free to stick around and support the channel. Now from here, I actually have a couple cars that I'm targeting here this week. So once I pick those up, or if I pick up something else, I'll get a video out of what those are and how much I paid, etc., what they need. And hopefully we can keep this trend going of making money on cars and not have any bloopers and lose money, because I will say we're doing pretty darn good. And at the end of the day, I know something's going to come along at some point where it kind of screws me, or you're just going to get a bad bug at some point. But so far, this challenge has gone pretty good. We're 7 videos in, have made money on every car, and have had awesome customers, and everything's sold pretty quick. And it's just all around so far a good challenge. And I'm kind of posting this to see if I can do it myself. And truthfully, anyone out watching this video could do it. So if you got $500, feel free to start the challenge yourself, see how far you can go, and maybe you'll end up with your dream car when it's all said and done. So if you want to do the math and round upwards, we made about $3,000 on the car, which in a pretty quick manner. I mean, from start to finish, buying the car, getting it home, doing the paint work. The biggest limiter on this flip was actually the weather. I like for the cars to cure out in the elements for a little bit after getting painted. Like, I'll paint it, I'll let it sit in the garage for a few hours, dry up, and then I like them to be out in the elements a little bit. And this weather was just horrible. I mean, it was raining every day, and it even hailed one day. I was like, oh my goodness, I cannot catch a break. But when the weather finally broke, we had a chance to paint the car, get it all sorted, and literally within 24 hours of listing it, the car sold. I mean, at the end of the day, it was a 50,000 mile Miata with all the maintenance up to date for $6,500 out the door. You can't find that price anywhere. I try to find the cleanest Miatas and sell them for the best prices. So I was able to do that here. I had a happy customer who loves the car, and it's a win-win. And until next time, guys, we're going to keep on climbing this challenge, and maybe sooner or later we'll end up with a dream car. Again, guys, thank you so much for supporting. I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks.